Two tools. You've told me that if I'm approaching this decision on, or the choice, you call it a choice, on taking a vaccine or not, that I can just ask a question to my body and become aware.
Yes.
And then you talked about, in that awareness, something will feel light or feel heavy.
Right. Contracted or expanded. You'll feel like everybody has this sensorial experience that they have, the senses that you use. We all use our senses or our sensations to guide us. Okay, so for people that love to drive, if it feels like an open highway, that would be a clear yes for them. For people that, driving the Quebec roads where there's a lot more potholes and that's the way it feels, you may want to think twice about doing the vaccination.
Okay.
Or definitely the vaccination at that time. Okay, so that's one thing.
So that's light and heavy.
That's light and heavy. And
what's another thing? Yeah, what's another thing we can do?
Third one is the lean. This is the lean. It's the body lean. It's where you're actually asking the body, is this something that's going to be in my best interest? Is this something that's going to help me? So what you do is you stand up and you you just put your hands on your belly and you just ask yourself, is the vaccination going to be in my best interest? Is this something that I require, my body requires? You can ask a variety of questions. One of them being, is this going to help my body? Is this something that my body requires? And you go, is the vaccination going to be something that's good for me? If your body leans forward like this, that's a yes.
Okay.
Okay?
So show me that.
Sideways. If I ask the body, is the vaccination something that's going to be good for my body? My body leans forward like that. That's a good indicator. So you put your feet together, and I just put my hands here, just not to block it or anything, just as a place to put my hands. You could probably put your hands to the side too.
Whatever you feel comfortable with.
Exactly. But if my body leans backwards like this, or if I show you like this, then that's an indicator. Stay away from that.
So,
okay? And if your body goes sideways, that probably means you're not quite asking a clear question. Meaning, people like to say, should I take the vaccine? Okay? The word should is not something that you're actually choosing. You're saying, should I take it because somebody's already deemed the vaccine to be more effective. Okay? But the truth being that you just ask the question, is this vaccine going to be something that's good for me? Good for my body? Is this going to help me stay healthy? And then see if your body leans into it. If it does, great. Now you have another tool to consider what you want to do. If it leans away, you might have another tool. You have another tool that says, maybe I need to look at this.
So I would like more examples of the question that I could ask. Because
you mean while I'm doing the lean?
Yeah, while you're doing the lean.
Well, I could say, you can ask as detailed as you'd like. It's not only a yes-no question. You're actually asking the body who's going to be receiving this, just like food, do I really want a cup of coffee? And your body leans backwards. Okay, maybe that would be a good indicator that the coffee's not now. Doesn't mean you'll never want coffee ever again.
Okay.
But in this moment, this is not a good choice. You're at Starbucks or you're a second cup or Tim Hortons or McDonald's and you're sitting there going, I want a coffee. Nah. Okay, well, there's options of tea, water, juice, hot chocolate. Maybe something else is what your body requires. The key here is your body's going to have requirements. It has requirements every day. How many of us actually listen to it and how many of us are on autopilot?
Yes.
So what would it take for us to be off of autopilot and just start to engage in asking the question so we can really be tuned into the moment? Okay?
So just to recap, you've got just being aware, and even though something isn't documented in front of you, you already know it. And you're being aware of that knowledge. It's there, it's for you, you're accessing it for yourself.
Well, in fact, if we take that, and we were talking earlier about, well, how do you really know whether the vaccine is going to be good for you, right? We were talking about that, and I was saying, well, what if you could imagine 3 months down the road?
Right.
And you can use that light-heavy technique we talked about. Are you going to be more expanded, easier to breathe, feeling good about you, feeling strong, or are you going to feel withered, contracted, hard to breathe, trying to find the corner, some support, please, then you want to look and go 3 months down the road. Am I going to be feeling lighter, better because I took the vaccine? Or am I going to actually feel contracted and not as well because of the vaccine? And the problem with the vaccine is we don't know the effects. We don't know the side effects, and we don't know the length of time for the side effects.
Right.
We don't know how it's going to show up in a month. We don't know what's going to show up in 6 months.
Or 10 years.
And 10 years, and we have no way of tracking it directly to the vaccine.
Right.
So the key is if you're going to choose this, make sure you're choosing this for you. And since there's not enough research on it, I don't know, you might want to make a choice that works for you and your body.
So if we were to, if I was going with something else, what can I do for myself to be in better health so that I don't have to, take all of these shots and things and medications? What can I do?
It's a great question.
For me and my body?
I think it's a great question because the one thing is like I said, body always has requirements, right? How many of us actually listen? So there are arenas of, first of all, just the immune system could be boosted. Let's suppose you decide not to get the vaccine. That doesn't mean you go around dumb and blind, okay? That doesn't mean you're powerless because ultimately whether you get the vaccine or not, you're not a victim.
Well, what do you do to boost the immune system?
Well, there's lots of herbs and vitamins that you can do that'll help. And that's a whole separate list of things. But, basically, you can always take extra vitamin C for some people that know that garlic works for them. And everybody has their own things that work and have them show up healthy. The other thing is making sure you get enough sleep. The immune system is really related to also how well we take care of ourselves. So what does that mean? Sleep. Well, sleep or rest. Some people say, well, I can't sleep much more than 4 hours, but then I'm really exhausted in the afternoon. I plug in a coffee and I'm good to go.
Is resting watching TV?
No, resting is not watching TV. That is not a resting thing.
Okay, so it's not sitting in front of my computer even though no one's around.
And it's not playing PlayStation either. Resting is actually some quiet time with yourself. So whether it's actually sleeping, the suggestion is somewhere around 7.5 hours is what's required for the body to actually regenerate itself. Everybody has a different. It could be 8 for some, 9 for others, 6 for some. I know some people, if I get 6 hours running, they're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they take a half an hour power nap in the evening, or afternoon. So it's finding what works for you. Now, if you've known you're running yourself ragged and you're not getting enough sleep, right off the bat, that's one ticket item that might be going off saying, if you got more rest, you got more sleep, if you took a little bit of a breather, maybe if you did some breathing exercises, that would allow you to actually boost up your immune system, get rid of some of the extra stress, which is actually what wears out our immune system.
So you've got sleep,
or
rest,
right? And then there's food.
Food.
So here we are in the fall.
Yeah.
The trees are starting to change, leaves and all that. And we're going into winter season. So what's the big thing that we need for winter season? Not only flu season, but winter season. So food-wise it's apple season. So lots of apples, pumpkins, squashes. All of the orange and yellow allow you to have more vitamin A, which is all part of an immune booster. There's anything that's seasonal in your world will actually allow you to boost up your immune
Seasonal
system.
in my world, meaning I live in Quebec,
Right.
and what's readily available in Quebec.
Right.
And so anywhere you're living, you should really look around at what is local.
Exactly, and what supports your body and your system and your immune system. Just like people that live near the ocean, probably be eating, more fish, getting your cod liver oil in.
Well, that's what
all of those
oils.
things.
Oils for us Quebecers, or oils for anybody, because
Yeah.
people are so concerned about health and weight and everything. They seem to cut out a lot of oils.
Well, bad oils, if you're talking about fried foods, that's a bad oil.
Okay.
Bad oil. It's an oil that doesn't actually allow your body to regenerate well. So what if everybody knows the old, I want to say wives' tale, but what we used to do when we were younger was our parents used to give her cod liver oil, right? The little capsules, and this is what kept you healthy during the winter.
Yeah.
Well, it is. We need oil in our body. It's part of what makes our hormones. It's part of what keeps our immune system healthy. It's part of what lubricates our mucous membranes. Mm-hmm. Our mucous membranes, the nose, the mouth, and are the things that actually are the traps for the viruses. So
you want to keep them lubricated so that they don't fill up with other things.
Exactly. And you want to keep them clean, right? So that's something we talk about is doing the sinus washes or the salt water washes to clean out the mucous membranes. Make sure you salt water gargle.
And when you say that, the thing that comes to my mind right now is touching my face and coughing and germs everywhere around us.
Right. Well, that's exactly. Coughing is something we should be coughing, keyword here, but coughing into our clothing, not our hands.
Well, we teach our children to cough into their hands. Cover your mouth, cover your mouth.
Well, I taught my daughter the elbow.
Okay.
But you know, coughing into your hand is now that you're going to go what? Go touch a door handle?
Yeah.
You're going to go use your shopping cart? You're going to